right, fam. It has been too long since I have picked up this phone and recorded any content. And it's not because stuff has not happened. I just have been focused on the now and trying to study for my exam with school and job and home life. So I just have not picked up the camera. So where do I even start? I think the last update that I've given you guys was that we had done the trigger shot, and I was in the 2-week wait. So I am currently still in the wait. I have not tested at all. I have stuck to my guns and have not even taken one test at all. The last time that I spoke to my doctor, they told me I finally got my blood work back because I hadn't known what the blood draw was when he wanted to see if I had ovulated or not. So the estradiol level last round was 948 at the end of the round. With this blood draw, my estradiol level was 2,600 and something. Super high, way higher than what it was the first time. And so she told me my progesterone, and she said that my progesterone was less than 5, which means I did not ovulate early, which is good because he saw that corpus luteum, which is normally something that you see after ovulation, and then he saw a little bit of fluid behind my uterus, which is also something they typically see after ovulation. So I was glad to know that I hadn't ovulated. And so after I triggered, I was kind of nervous because the first 24 hours I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel like any cramping. I didn't see any signs of ovulation. So I was kind of worried, and this was before I got my blood work. So I really didn't know if I had ovulated already or not. And I took the trigger because I figured, okay, if they didn't call me, then it must be good news. Because I'm sure they would have called me to tell me not to trigger if I had already ovulated. So around 30 hours after trigger, close to 36 hours, is when I started to have cramping. So I think I ovulated more so 36 hours than 24 hours after trigger, which would be that Monday. Our timing was really good this month. Definitely tried to make it less like thought and more natural. It was cool that, you know, I didn't ovulate early. Our timing was good. So I started my progesterone injections on Wednesday. I don't know why. I just, like, I'll do 1 or 2. I won't have any like itchiness by the injection site or swelling, and then I'll do 1 and then I do have it. I don't think I'm allergic to it. I just think that I need to figure out what makes my body a little bit more receptive to the progesterone. And I just haven't figured that out yet. So I have been doing the progesterone injections since last Wednesday, so for about 6 days. It really feels like longer than that. I have not really felt a whole lot. I did get really sore boobs right after the trigger shot, which is normal because that's when you have the most of that pregnancy hormone in your body. And then that kind of dwindled away, and then it's kind of come back a little bit. Not a lot, just like a full feeling when I get up in the morning. I do have some cramping. Not cramping, like a soreness, super low pelvis area. I didn't have last time, but if like when Jaw tries to lay on my belly, I can I have to kind of move her off of that one area. Super sore, super in the middle, but sore nonetheless when you press on it. Other than that, I haven't really had any sort of like symptoms. I haven't really been like looking for symptoms, just because it's been very hard to not test the last few days because I really want to know. But I know that with my last round, I had a false positive all the way up to 13 days past trigger, which would be, Friday would be 13 days. So the earliest that I could test is Saturday, which is 14 days past trigger. So I am kind of trying to decide if I want to test on Saturday, if I want to test on Sunday, if I want to test on Monday. I have no idea. I have not decided. So I'm going to just see what I would prefer to test when I'm by myself at the house. My husband will be home on Saturday morning before the FSU game. So I don't really want to test when he's there because I kind of want to still be able to like tell him in a cute special way, even though we've done like medical intervention. At least he doesn't know like the results until I tell him. So I wouldn't mind like waiting and telling him the results in like a cute way of some form. So I don't know, I may wait until Monday. So I don't know, we're gonna see. But as of now, I'm just coasting. Besides the injections every day, I'm not doing anything else. I'm just chilling, studying, regular old life, getting a lot of naps in. So yeah, so as of right now, I will not have any sort of update until either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, whichever day I decide to test. And this time when I test, I'm going to dip the test in front of you all, wait for the results while we chit chat, and actually look at the results for the first time on camera. I am very nervous about doing that because if it's not what I want, my response, and then if it is what I want, my response. So, but I would love to get it captured. I feel very positive about this round. We had way more follicles matured. I feel like our timing was much better. So yeah, I think this is going to be the cycle, and it's less stressful too, because the last round we had just had that HSG test done that same round while I was doing all of the prep work, getting the follicles ready. So I felt like that was just a lot of stress in itself. Just getting that HSG, knowing how painful it was, and then having to turn around and do the timed intercourse and all that stuff right after that. So I just felt like that was just a lot for my body in general. So all right, so we'll see. I will be back. Much love for everybody on the journey. Keep going, dig deep. It's gonna be worth it. I'm telling you, I got my one rainbow baby, and I still am in awe of her every day, and she's almost 4, so got this. All right, fam, so let's get into this 2-week wait. The 2-week wait is pretty much over. So the next thing is for me to test, but I wanted to just kind of sum up how I felt during the 2-week wait. So after first taking the trigger shot, I felt a huge wave, obviously, because that's a lot of HCG, the pregnancy hormone in my system. So I felt a lot of breast tenderness and typical pregnancy signs that eventually kind of dwindled off because it was just from the shot. If anything, I've just kind of felt, I wouldn't say moody, but just kind of like blah. I've had some cramping, not like cycle cramping, but just like nagging cramping probably the last 2 or 3 days. I feel like my trigger shot was in my system until up until the 13th day. So the trigger shot now seems to last 13 days in my system. So if this cycle does not work, next cycle I probably should not test until probably test day, because I guess what happens is when the trigger shot runs out of your system, then your body has to build back up the pregnancy hormone if you are indeed pregnant. So I am going to be testing soon. I will let you guys be with me when I did the test, and while I wait on the test, we are heading into Thanksgiving holiday. So if the tests are negative, then we'll be rolling over into December or the end of November of when we start our 3rd round. Obviously we would have liked to have gotten pregnant the 1st round like we did with Ja, but it is what it is. So just keep trucking forward. All right, so I will see you all on test day.